When we're walking through illness, it can feel like the most lonely place in the world. But healing isn't solitary, even when it looks that way on the outside. Today, I want to share the story of a woman in our spiritual community. She moved from sleepless nights, fear, and uncertainty to hearing the words, "no evidence of disease," and entering NED remission. This is not a medical story. It's a spiritual healing journey, a testimony of faith, energy work, inner surrender, and the quiet ways the universe held her when she felt most alone. As you listen, I invite you to see yourself in her and to remember that even if you feel isolated right now, you are surrounded by love, by prayer, and by unseen helpers. Let this story be a soft hand in yours. She didn't begin this journey feeling brave. In the beginning, there were endless appointments, tests, scans, numbers on a screen, and long nights where her mind went to the darkest places. She told herself she had to be strong for everyone else. On the outside, she smiled, made small talk, did what was needed. On the inside, she felt like a little girl who just wanted someone to hold her hand and say, "You're safe. You're not alone." One night, when the fear felt especially loud, she sat on the edge of her bed and finally whispered, "I can't carry this by myself anymore. If there is a higher power, if my angels are real, please, I need you now." That simple, shaky prayer became a turning point. From that moment on, she decided she would not walk through this only in her mind. She would walk through it with her soul. She began starting her mornings differently. Before checking her phone, before letting her mind race ahead to the next result, she put her hand on her heart, closed her eyes, and imagined a soft, golden light flowing through her body. She didn't always believe it was working. Some days she cried the whole way through, but she kept showing up anyway. She found a small spiritual community of women who understood energy, prayer, and the invisible side of healing. Even though they had never met in person, she felt their presence, like a circle around her. When she went in for treatments or tests, she would imagine those women standing behind her, hands on her shoulders, whispering blessings into her back. She began to speak differently to her body, too. Instead of calling it broken or failing, she started saying, "Thank you for trying to keep me alive. Thank you for all the years you have carried me. I'm listening now. What do you need?" Some days the answer felt like, "Rest." Other days it felt like, "Let yourself be held." And sometimes it simply felt like, "Breathe." There were still hard moments. There were still scary phone calls in waiting rooms, and that familiar tightening in her chest every time the doctor's number appeared on her screen. But slowly, something subtle began to shift. The fear was still there, but it no longer owned every corner of her inner world. Alongside the fear, she began to feel little pockets of peace. Moments where she could genuinely say, "Whatever happens next, I am held, I am loved. I am not walking this path alone." She continued with her medical care, listened to her doctors, and showed up for every appointment, but in the quiet spaces in between, she showed up for her soul. One day, after another round of scans, she sat in that familiar cold room, wrapped in a thin gown, feeling the old nervousness rise again. She placed her hand over her heart, closed her eyes, and silently repeated, "Whatever they say, I am safe in the arms of the divine. Whatever they say, I am not alone." When the doctor finally walked in, there was a pause, a deep breath, and then the words, "There is no evidence of disease." For a moment, time stood still. She heard the words, but they took a few seconds to land. No evidence of disease. NED. Tears came to her eyes, not only from relief, but from the awareness of just how held she had been throughout the entire journey. In that moment, she didn't just thank the doctor. In her heart, she thanked every prayer, every whispered affirmation, every unseen guide and angel that had walked beside her in the dark. If you are listening to this right now while you're waiting for results, or sitting in a chair at treatment, or trying to fall asleep with a knot of fear in your stomach, I want you to know this: you are not doing this alone. Even if your family doesn't fully understand, even if your friends don't know what to say, even if you feel like you have to be the strong one for everyone else, there is a circle of love around you that you cannot always see. There are women, just like you, who have cried into their pillows at night, who have whispered desperate prayers into the dark, who have handed their fear to the Divine One shaky breath at a time. You are part of that circle now. As you move through your own journey, you're allowed to be human. You're allowed to be scared. You're allowed to be tired of being strong. And at the very same time, you are allowed to call in help that goes far beyond what the mind can understand. You can place your hand over your heart and invite in a soft, golden light of healing. You can ask your angels, your guides, your ancestors, your higher self, to sit beside you in every waiting room, in every sleepless night, in every difficult conversation. You don't have to know how healing will look. You don't have to force yourself to be positive all the time. You only need to be willing to take one gentle breath at a time, and to remember that your soul is held, even in the unknown. If this story touched something inside you, let it be a reminder that miracles don't always look loud or dramatic. Sometimes they look like small moments of peace in the middle of chaos. Sometimes they look like the strength to show up for one more day. Sometimes they look like a scan result that suddenly reads, "No evidence of disease." Wherever you are on your path, I am holding you in my heart right now. May you feel surrounded by unseen helpers. May you feel guided to the right doctors, the right support, the right next step. And may you remember, deep in your bones, that healing isn't solitary. If you'd like to stay connected to this circle of gentle spiritual support, you're welcome to subscribe and come back to this space whenever you need a soft voice in the dark. Until next time, breathe, soften your shoulders, and know that you are loved, you are guided, and you are never, ever walking this road alone.